Well, I want to acknowledge that in the beginning I said that tonight was going to be an autobiography of my soul, and as it turns out it's been mostly an autobiography of my ego. However, I would like to conclude by sharing the backstory of my flow poem. A lot of you have heard the flow poem, which is also for sale out there. But for those who haven't heard it, I once asked this stream if it was literate, what would it tell me? And this is what I was told. Flow. Be as water is without friction. Flow around the edges of those within your path. Surround within your ever-moving depths those who come to rest there. Enfold them while never for a moment holding on. Accept whatever distance others are moved within your flow. Be with them gently, as far as they allow your strength to take them, and fill with your own being the remaining space when they are left behind. When dropping down life's rapids, froth and bubble into fragments that you must, knowing that the one of you, now many, will just as many times be one again, and when you've gone as far as you can go, quietly await your next beginning. Well, what most folks don't know is that about 3 years before that came through to me, 3 or 4 years, I had another experience along a stream. I had just left my first wife. I had just become unemployed. I was between lifetimes. I was between careers. I didn't know where I was going to be living. I was living in my office at the time. I was the director of a nonprofit foundation when the funding got pulled. I had no idea where I was going to be. And I had this consultation at a wonderful Catholic school in central Kentucky, rural central Kentucky, called St. Catherine's, where I was consulting with the nuns and upper grade students on environmental education. And I asked the nuns if there was a stream nearby, a creek or something that I could go and meditate during a long afternoon break, and they directed me to this stream. And so I was walking along the stream, and I was angsty. But it was a very warm and hazy autumn October afternoon. Riot of orange and red and yellow colors in the leaves, and this creek was just gurgling along. And at one point, I stopped and noticed there was a rock in the middle of the stream. The water was gurgling by the rock, so I sat down on the rock and waded out, sat down on the rock. And the stream sang a song. So when I went back, I shared the song with the sisters and the students, but I couldn't really adequately tell the story about how the song came about. And a couple of weeks later, I woke up one of the last days of sleeping in my office, for I was dispossessed. A line came to mind. And I got up and I wrote it down, and I just kept writing, and this is what it said. I touched the endless thread of time one day while sitting in the middle of a stream. I had been enjoying the autumn countryside, marveling at how gracefully the day was ebbing into twilight, and the summer into winter's time, knowing that I too faced a coming darkness, a cold time in the journey of my soul. A leisurely walk along the stream had loosed my mind of churning over memories of doings and events whose working out now tumbled me toward the dreaded valley of the shadow. My attention had been drawn from past mistakes and future dread to an island just my size, a rock that was parting the waters of a wide place in the stream. The presence of that stationary island made me wonder where the flowing waters tended. Whence were they falling? And where would they next rise to fall again? The water made a gurgling sound as invisible as a candle's flame is silent, and I recalled a clear dark night in early childhood when I first realized that the burning of a star is like the earth beneath my feet, becoming grass, becoming cows, becoming milk, becoming meat, becoming... So I made my way into the stream. I sat on the island just my size and fixed my eyes upon the place where water was being tumbled over a rock that rested next to mine. I watched the gurgle for some time, only to find it timeless. It was just there, in contrast to the ever-moving water that sustained it. Gurgles are timeless as long as water is on time, ceaselessly flowing back to where it came from. I stuck my finger in the gurgle and modified its timeless tune somewhat, but for no longer than the duration of a finger. Like the water I was passing through, yet something in me yearned to stay there with the gurgle, so I replaced my finger with a large stone. Now the tune was altered for the duration of a rock, more enduring than my finger, but less presumptuous than a pyramid. As I contemplated leaving, never to return, I wondered if the gurgle would ever be visited by the same water twice. And then I heard an audible silence that was gurgling deep within. Don't ask me where I'm going. No one can really say. Though I've already been there, I'm always on the way. My journey's never finished. As onward I ascend, from end of my beginning to beginning of my end. Don't ask me where I come from, the answer's near and far, as recent as this moment, as distant as a star. My here is made of elsewhere, that elsewhere flows through me. Some ashes from a far-off sun, destination galaxy. Don't ask how long I'll be here, we'll never really know. The only thing eternal is the now through which we flow. If you look downstream to see what's past or behind for future's clue, you'll miss the beat the heavens keep as they go dancing through. Perhaps in a future concert entitled "Life is Too Serious to Be Taken Importantly." Metaphysically speaking, the opposite of a profound truth is another profound truth. But for the moment, I want to take a quick trip back to the unseriousness with which I began and conclude with a brief song of kindness. You may have heard this. Be kind to your wet-footed friends,
For a duck may be somebody's mother. Be kind to your friend.
And dark swamp, where the water is cold and damp. Well, you may think that this is the end, and it is. to encore.